All right, happy Winter Classic Day. I know it's been a while since I've done a car video, let alone one of me actually driving. So I got no paperwork to look at, no script. I can focus on driving and talk to the beautiful 4 people that might watch this. Honestly, I'm just gonna wing it right now because I assume there's no major starting lineup developments going on for the VGK or the Kraken that I really care about. My presumption is that LT will be in net. Can't tell why he wouldn't. We've had like 3 days off. Gotta address the other Vegas sports story real quick. Yesterday, Raiders lost and are now out of playoff contention. Got one more home game though against Denver to wrap it up. That'll be cool. On the topic of the Raiders real quick, so I could go back to the Golden Knights since that's what matters today. Quarterbacks. There's been 2 possible names getting floated around for Vegas. For us trading for. One would be Justin Fields, the other being Russell Wilson. I want to hear thoughts down in the comments. Anyone that cares. I'm not gonna lie, I'd still rather Russell Wilson. I think him and AP would get along. It's really gonna matter though, like who do we get as an OC? Because we gotta move on from Bo Hardegree. That was absolutely atrocious yesterday, trying bullshit trick plays on 3rd and 1 and cost us so many points throughout the games that were huge. Like, we would have won that game if you just eliminate Bo Hardegree and his inaptability to call a game using a slight ounce of common sense. So, that being said, I still like Russell also on the standpoint of you need to look in the draft though in coming years, obviously, and target your guy, whether it's this year's draft or if there's anyone you see coming up that you want to address. You need him as a leader in that locker room, I think. And I know some people are going to be like, say the locker room was fractured in Seattle and stuff. I think it comes down to, I just don't think him and Pete Carroll saw eye to eye anymore. And Justin Fields, like, I get that there's been improvement. I don't know. Maybe he would be fine with our offensive line, what I've seen from them recently. They've started to get better as the year's gone on. And obviously, you can always address that in the draft. Honestly, I always say that's probably in the draft. I feel the draft is where you should get your offensive line and then your quarterback, and you get like skill guys in free agency. Now as for the Golden Knights, go from T-Mobile Arena, the Fortress, to T-Mobile Park. I don't think it's got a cool nickname. You might as well just call it the Lighthouse, I guess, at this point. If that catches, I didn't hear from anyone. I want royalties if it ends up being known as the Lighthouse from here on out. But I can't wait. The unis are a little. See, I got mine on. Unis are kind of interesting. I do like how different both teams are stylistically. I do like that they kind of went with that cream look instead of like a clean white. But right now I'm gonna find a place. I need to find. Gonna try. I've never been to Buffalo Wings and Rings, so I'm gonna give that a try. I looked on their website. It looks like theirs has plenty of TVs, and there's nothing else going on right now until we hit like the Rose Bowl, which I love the beginning of the Rose Bowl. I will say this now because I say it every year. It is the most beautiful setting in sports. Is the first half of the Rose Bowl when the sun's setting up over behind the hills of Pasadena. So and I plan to stay for the whole Winter Classic, so I'll be able to catch the beginning of the Rose Bowl. So it's a double whammy. And since I mentioned the Rose Bowl, I hate both teams. I don't care who wins. I hope whoever wins eventually gets blown to bits by the winner of the UW and Texas game. Ideally, I am pulling for UW a bit more than Texas. Ideal situation, the Kraken sacrifice themselves so that UW gets the much more important win, thus give the VGK a win. Keep the positive momentum from the last game. Start 2K24 on a good note. You know, after last year was the greatest year in franchise history. Obviously, it was the greatest year in Las Vegas sports history. Not that there's much to that, obviously, but the fact that the VGK won their first Stanley Cup championship. The Aces ran it back to go back-to-back. UNLV football's on the rise. Some of the other programs there, sports programs at UNLV have started to kind of get their act together, it looks like. Their men's basketball team exists. That's all I'm going to say about that. But, yeah. Unfortunately, not really much else to talk about. I'm just kind of rambling on at this point, I think. Not gonna lie, I am in the process of trying to save up money because I want to kind of take a road trip to Vegas for the Super Bowl. Not to actually go to the game, obviously. I don't have that much money. But I've always wanted to go back home to Vegas on Super Bowl Sunday. And what better year to do it than it's the city's first time hosting the big game. Like, that'd be absolutely awesome. Like, multiple bucket lists crossed off going to Vegas for the Super Bowl and going to the host city for the Super Bowl. Knock it off. Get some great videos. Hopefully those would be ones that could help, boost this channel a bit. I did yesterday, unfortunately, my short about the Raiders being knocked out playoff contention last I saw it was like 540 views. Muchas gracias. It's only the second time I've gone one over 500. That was the short about the Chargers firing Brandon Staley finally after the Raiders obliterated them. Oh, and a few weeks ago I couldn't help but notice Ottawa, the Senators, back to NHL, fired their coach the night after Vegas whooped them. It was within a week of the Chargers firing Brandon Staley. So, and coaches, if you're on the hot seat, man, you do not want to play Vegas, I guess. But that, I guess we gotta wrap it up because I'm almost to the restaurant. So, go Knights go. Let's start this year off strong.